The king of AI filmmaking is back. The latest cinematic AI video model, Kling version 3, is currently being rolled out to all users. I purchased Kling Ultra package with 25,000 credits and tested the model in detail. Is Kling version 3 actually good? In this video, I will go over all new cool features so you can get a sense of what it can and cannot do. Let's jump right in.
Okay guys, literally everyone has been asking about the flamingo slippers I was wearing in my story. They are these ones. Look at this cuteness. They are honestly the softest things I've ever touched. I seriously haven't taken them off all weekend. It feels like walking on marshmallows. You guys need these.
Are you ready for the biggest show of the year?
Kling version 3! Here we go! Let's test it out!
This latest version delivers up to 15 seconds of video generation with native audio integration, supporting multiple languages, accents, sound effects, and background music. The multi-shot functionality enables seamless transitions between different camera angles and compositions within a single generation, while custom multi-shot option provides even more control over scene structure. The platform excels in character and object consistency through its element system, allowing creators to maintain perfect visual continuity across shots and scenes.
Okay, update time. I've been hiking for about 6 hours and だけど、ここの空気は何かが違う。高密なの。まるで君が私をじっと見つめているみたい。
To access new model, all you need to do is clicking on video generation from the homepage and ensure that you selected version 3.0. Alternatively, you can reach here using Generate button from the left-hand side, and it will take you to the same place. By far, the biggest change on the user interface is multi-shot toggle. First, let's start with toggle off to explain things a little bit better. When the toggle is off, this is equal to regular image to video. I attached a simple starting frame and wrote a simple prompt, "Robot is walking on the dark sand beach." Then Kling will simply animate and continue the initial position of your starting frame. Let's see the result. Once multi-shot is enabled, the model will automatically plan shot transitions and generate multi-scene video content without requiring manual description. The simplest way to show you this would be: robot is walking on the dark sand beach. Camera angle changes every 2 seconds from various angles. Let's see the result. Unlike standard image-to-video continuous shots, the multi-shot feature introduces hard cuts between scenes, creating a more cinematic feel while maintaining character consistency across shots. The multi-shot is extremely powerful. It even allows you to define and describe every shot in detail with all camera angles and cinematic camera movements. I have this starting frame of a hunter with his eagle. Now I'm going to write this prompt, which essentially consists of 4 different shots. In the first shot, eagle lands on hunter's arm. In the second shot, with hunter's signal, eagle launches to the air. And then we want camera to pan smoothly to follow the eagle's flight path. Third shot is a flight POV. Here we have the POV shot of eagle's head in a snorri cam style, and we are simply tracking eagle's flight with the keyword camera locked to the eagle's head. And the fourth shot is a little bit more emotional. We have a close-up of the hunter looking towards the horizon. He's in full admiration for the beauty of his eagle. Let's see the result. It did a pretty fantastic job and great prompt following. It gave us everything we asked for, 4 different shots in a single generation, and all camera angles and camera movement we ask are precisely rendered. Very impressive result. To achieve this, you can use a prompt structure like this. You can start with camera angle or shot type, can be wide angle, close up, over the shoulder, high, low angle. After that, you can add a specific camera motion, like camera orbits around the subject or camera pans right or left. You can continue with the action description, what your subject is doing in the action, and then you can finalize your prompt with dialogue. because Kling has built-in native audio integration, which I will show you in a second. You can combine multi-shot with multi-character dialogue. In this example, I have a starting frame of me rendered together with Yago, one of the well-known characters from my channel. In the multi-shot mode again, I defined 3 different shots. One wide-angle static shot combined together with a dialogue, and in shot 2, I'm going to the close-up of the Jihan character again, and he is shouting, "We have all night, we aren't going anywhere until that diamond comes out." The third shot is Yago's close-up, and Yago replies, "I mentioned these characters with their names because I bind them to my prompt as elements to improve consistency. For advanced character consistency, you can add your characters as elements, and then while prompting your story, you can directly mention their names in your prompt section. I will show you an element creation flow in a second. Let's see the result.
We know you swallowed the diamond. Just give it up. We have all night. We aren't going anywhere until that diamond comes out.
Then I suggest you bring some air freshener. It's get diamond comes out. It's going to be tragedy.
We know you swallowed.
So it did a good job with following dialogue one by one. So prompt following is great. In the end of the video, you realize there were some problems with the Yago's final punchline. The words kinda mixed up, and this is one thing I saw and observed throughout my tests with Kling version 3. Close to the ending, sometimes character pronounces the sentence wrong. So as a suggestion, you should be careful with the last line of the dialogue, especially if it is close to the end of 15-second video length, then can be some issues. There is a third mode called custom multi-shot right here. Custom multi-shot allows you to precisely control the content and duration of each shot. It gives you a granular control. You can specify exact events, camera movements, and most importantly, durations of every shot for each individual segment within a single generation. In this example, I added 5 different custom shots, every single one with a different camera angle and a cinematic camera motion. We have a female Jedi walking, then she's looking up in first-person POV shot, then we have high-angle wide shot where she's laughing hysterically under the rain, and then she starts running. Important thing to keep in mind that 5 times 3 seconds shot, so total it makes 15 seconds. As you can see, if I pull this to 9 seconds, it's gonna go red, because total duration here, 5 times 3 seconds is 15 seconds, so they don't match. And in this case, you cannot generate. Now let's see the result. It nicely followed my prompt. Shot types are fantastically rendered and correct. For example, right here, first person POV shot, and then high angle wide shot where she's laughing hysterically and then she starts running. Everything is here. I'm very happy.
Before we continue pushing Kling version 3 to its absolute limits, I have to show you the command center I've been using to actually manage this explosion of new AI tools. It's called Genspark. We all know the struggle right now. To stay on the cutting edge, you are stuck paying for ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, separate image generators and video tools. It costs a fortune and you are constantly juggling 20 different tabs. Genspark completely fixes that. It's the first all-in-one AI workspace 2.0. And there's a reason they went from concept to 155 million in revenue in just 10 months. They have consolidated all tools. For a creator, this is honestly a superpower. Instead of platform hopping, I now have access to all state-of-the-art models in one single interface. I'm actually using Genspark's ecosystem to craft the advanced complex prompts you see in my tutorials. Then I can instantly switch to generating high-fidelity assets without leaving the workspace. It's the one replaces 10, a full creative studio that handles the heavy lifting so I can focus on direction. My prompts are ready. This time I use Gemini version 3, but I can also easily switch to ChatGPT. I have this cool prompt for a street fight scene. I'm gonna copy this and then switch to AI video mode directly inside Genspark. And it's right here. I'm gonna paste it. We have all models here. Google's Veo, Kling, Seedance, Minimax, Grok, One. They are all right here. All state-of-the-art AI video models are listed here quickly after they launch. So I switch to Kling, select 8 seconds, and then I'm gonna hit generate. And generation started using Kling version 3. And my video is ready. Take a look at this. It did a fantastic job. And Kling version 3 excels in action and fight scenes. And multi-shot just takes it to the next level. Now I can also generate a cinematic grid using Nano Banana Pro right here in the AI image mode. I have Nano Banana Pro selected here. They have also Flux 2 Pro, Z Image, GPT Image 1.5, all you can think of right here. So I'm gonna create a cinematic grid. I'm copy-pasting my prompt, create a 2x2 cinematic sequence grid based on the characters and storyline here. I attach my character images as character references, and I have resolution control, 4K, and I hit generate. My generation started using Nano Banana Pro. And the cool thing here is it created this cinematic grid as individual frames. So I don't even need to extract these shots because they are already extracted for me to directly use as image to video. And there's even an easy shortcut here. And these are all separate frames that I can use, which I created with a single prompt on Genspark AI. And the wildest part, for all of 2026, Genspark is offering unlimited usage of their AI chat and AI image features. That includes unlimited access to top-tier models like Gemini 3 Pro and Nano Banana Pro. Stop overpaying for fragmented tools. Hit the link in the description to sign up for free credits and let Genspark handle the rest.
In the next example, I'm doing full consistency test with 5 different characters, and they all will speak. This time I'm only attaching the character images and simply just refer to them one by one. Here's the prompt. 5 characters are standing together in dark sand beach in Iceland. Camera push into character at image 1. First, we are going to the character at image 1. And she says we have a long path ahead. Then camera push past her to the man at the image 3, which is me, who says I'm very excited. We continue like this. Now let's see the result.
We have a long path ahead.
I'm very excited.
We are ready for the battle.
I'm ready to blast some bad guys. Let's cook some enemies.
Here, the critical things I want to emphasize. How I'm referring to the characters, as you can see by mentioning the images, not even elements. Similar issue where I emphasized before with Kling's spoken integrated audios. In the end of the shot, sometimes mouth movement and lip syncing goes off. In the last character here, there were some issues with the mouth movement. It's still impressive that spoken words and lives were correct. This time I'm gonna say my second character says this line in French, and I keep the Italian accent and see what happens.
We have a long path ahead.
Je suis très excité.
We are ready for the battle.
I'm ready to blast some bad guys. Let's cook some enemies.
Again, in the end of the shot, my fourth character didn't say her line, but my second character said his line in French, which is actually what we asked for, so that was cool. But in the end of the 15 seconds, there were some issues with the spoken words again. So Kling version 3 has been updated to support multiple languages, dialects, and accents. According to their official guide, they support 5 languages: Chinese, English, Japanese, Korean, and Spanish. But as you saw, I just tried French and it actually worked out well, which is surprising. And for accents, they actually support American, British, Indian accents, and some Chinese dialects are supported, but it's up for test. Let's test native audio capabilities of Kling version 3. So I'm creating a simple dialogue scene. Cleo is my character at image 1 and Anubis is my character in image 2. You can see my first character and my second character. I just attach these images as a character references. I have a cinematic ancient Egyptian temple set up. As you can see, after introducing my characters, I can simply refer to them in my dialogue. And Anubis says they have forgotten the evening ritual. Then Cleo, sitting in the throne with echoing sound, says her line, that replies. Then Cleo gets angry. So as you can see, I have also some tone control here. And then she says a final line. Let's see the result.
They have forgotten the evening ritual.
Have the humans lost their minds, or do they plague of hairballs?
They are distracted by the rising river, my queen.
If they make me angry one more time, Rising River will be least of their problems.
Some of the words in the lines were missing, but overall I think it's a good result, especially in the end. I was able to feel anger from Cleo, so the tone control is definitely here. In the next one we have a simple vlogging shot. She's vlogging while walking in the jungle. She says, okay, update time. I've been hiking for about 6 hours and the air here it's different, thicker. It feels like trees are actually watching me. I think I'm close to the ruins. I'm going off-grid now. Wish me luck. It's a quite long sentence. It's in English. Let's see the result.
Okay, update time. I've been hiking for about 6 hours and the air here, it's different. Thicker. It feels like the trees are actually watching me. I think I'm close to the ruins. I'm going off-grid now. Wish me luck.
Pretty impressive again until the last word, wish me luck. Then we lost a little bit the mouth movement. This time I translated into Japanese and I wrote it like that. But just for your information, you can actually write your lines in English and simply put in Japanese to the brackets and it will automatically translate your lines to your desired language. Let's see the result in Japanese.
さて、現状報告ね。もう6時間くらい歩き続けてるんだけど、ここの空気は何かが違う。高密なの。まるで君が私をじっと見つめているみたい。遺跡はもう近いはず。ここからはオフリットになるわ。声を受けて。
Again, I observed the same issue in the end, mouth movement, the last 2 seconds, it just didn't work out. This is probably a recurring bug or issue that Kling team needs to solve, but sounded very, very good for me. And since we are testing things, I decided to make it a little bit more difficult for the model. So I added 2 character references. Character 1, she's vlogging and she says, excuse me, hola, do you know where the entrance to the temple is? The ruinas. This is a pretty difficult line. It's a combination of English and Spanish. It's a good challenge for the model. Then second character in the image 2 replies in Spanish. So this character is mainly speaking in Spanish and then says something in English. They are basically trying to understand each other. So we have also an action inside the dialogue, which makes things even more difficult. It's in the brackets. So we will see if model is actually able to understand that this is not part of the dialogue. It's just an action. And then there is sigh, which is a reaction when you are frustrated and you feel like the other person doesn't understand what you are saying. Now, let's see the result.
Excuse me, hola. Do you know where the entrance to the temple is? The ruinas? Las ruinas?
No, eso está cerrado hoy. Muy peligroso. Closed.
Closed? No, I need to go up the mountain. Is it this path? Camino?
No. Escúchame. El camino está roto.
The flow of dialogue didn't sound so natural to me. There were again some missing words from the original dialogue I wrote, but considering how difficult this prompt was, I need to say I'm impressed because there were correct pronunciation most of the time, and I put an action inside the dialogue, which like she points her finger towards the peak, and it's in a smart way understood that this is just an action and not a dialogue or a spoken word. That also impressed me quite a lot. And Sai was also here, and I'm very impressed with the result. In the next example, she screams angry, says something in Chinese. I wrote it using translator. Then she starts attacking with her red electrified saber to the SWAT team. High-speed action shot. Dynamic camera tracks her every movement. Let's see both the camera work and the dialogue and see if it's gonna do a good job.
我要把你们全都消灭，今天就是你们的末日。
I think spoken dialogue sounded perfect for me in Chinese. So she screams, the emotion, anger is here. And after that, her attack, the erratic movement of dynamic camera was here. Of course, it's not perfect. There are some micro moments where our character morphs a little bit, but most of the time, actually, it did a pretty good job protecting the body coherence of both my main character and also the enemies. So I'm pretty impressed with this result. Kling version 3 and Nano Banana Pro is a pretty powerful duo. Grid method means creating a 2x2 or 3x3 cinematic storyboard grid, then attaching this grid as a starting image to Kling, and then magically Kling creates the full video based on the storyline here. Here's the prompt structure for Nano Banana Pro. For optimal results on Kling side, I would recommend you to create a grid of 2x2, because 3x3 grid sometimes can be a little too much. Then Kling output will be less accurate. You can start with this opener, create a 2x2 cinematic sequence grid of photorealistic images based on following scenes. Add sequential numbers to the corner of every frame in the grid. Then you can define your visual style, characters, and storyline. You can even specify what kind of shot types you want to have, and then your grid will be created. Similarly, I created another grid here. Now head back to Kling Omni. First thing, attach your grid right here. This is very important because in our prompt we will refer to the grid directly. After that, add your characters as an element to ensure that model will clearly understand which characters we are referring to. Here's your prompt structure. According to the storyboard sequence at the image 1, we are referring to the grid here. Create the shots in order based on following storyline. I'm simply copy-pasting the storyline I created for my grid, and only difference here is I am referring to the specific character elements by mentioning their name to ensure that I will have advanced consistency. As you can realize, the video successfully followed my grid sequentially, shot by shot, exactly how they are placed in my grid. The character consistency is superb, and there is even dialogue in this shot, where I specified using quotation marks for every shot. Next thing I want to show you is UGC, replicating user-generated content using Kling version 3. Take a look at this.
Okay guys, literally everyone has been asking about the flamingo slippers I was wearing in my story. They are these ones. Look at this cuteness. They are honestly the softest things I've ever touched. I seriously haven't taken them off all weekend. It feels like walking on marshmallows. You guys need these.
I'm using custom multi-shot to achieve this result. First, I need a character. I need the influencer. And for this job, I'm using a simple image reference. But for product, I'm actually using the elements. You can create an element for your product and other objects as well. So I created this Slipingo element using the elements creation flow and edit here as part of my prompt. I have multi-shot because I want control over every shot, and I'm starting with the close-up of my character. Then she says, okay guys, literally everyone has been asking about the flamingo slippers I was wearing in my story. A typical influencer type of opening. Then we are jumping into the showing the product. The slippers are in sharp focus. Then she basically gives some ideas about how she feels about the product. And then we are jumping into a moment where she is actually demonstrating wearing the slippers and showing them to the camera. It's a pretty good result. Let's see another example.
Okay guys, so you're all asking about the lipstick I'm using. It's actually the Maybelline Super Wiggle Matte Ink Lover. I've had it on since 7 a.m. Literally not budged. It just stays. Honestly obsessed.
In this example, I didn't give any product element. It just brought a random lipstick, and you can see also lipstick is actually changing in every shot. This is to show you that if you don't add your product as an element, it won't stay consistent. I only added my character's image, which is this one, and this will be my influencer. Then using multi-shot, I defined every sequence of my user-generated content. The next thing I want to show you is Kling Omni version 3. This allows you to give a video file as a video reference, and then you can make changes on it using Omni version 3. Omni model functions as a multimodal tool for video. You can swap backgrounds, change characters' clothing, or you can alter objects' colors using text prompts. In this case, I simply wrote change landscape of the video. I mentioned the video as a video reference to desert, keep camera and everything else consistent. And then it gave me this result. As you can see, I can just keep changing the landscape or my character's outfit using Omni model version 3. I made a whole detailed deep dive about this video before in my channel, so you can take a look at my library, and I'm really happy that Kling upgraded this model with further enhancement. Kling version 3 offers pretty advanced cinematic camera movements. Let's see a couple of examples. First one, slow motion shot. This is simply perfect for action shots or explosions or moments that you want to emphasize and show every single detail. Dynamic tracking shots is amazing for chasing scenes, car racing, and action shots. This kind of action shots are perfect with dynamic tracking. As you can see, walking motion of my character looks also very natural, and I like that how camera nicely tracks my character. Crane up shot is great. It's a vertical camera movement, and it allows you to establish your scene, bring attention of your audience to the environment of your character is in. Opposite of this shot is crane down shot, and I remember times where crane up and crane down keywords were actually not even working on Kling in previous versions, but now these cinematic technical terms are working really well. So you can simply write crane up or crane down shot and model will successfully understand that. Dolly out or camera pulls out, similar keywords which will give you the same camera motion. It will slowly pull out and give more context of your character's environment to your audience. Dolly in is similar but opposite of dolly out shot. It allows an emotion transfer between your character and your audience. I really like this low angle cinematic tracking shot of the hockey rink. It brings a unique perspective to the storytelling. You can stay focused in objects which are very important for the story. I love handheld shot and all the natural authenticity this shot brings. It takes the realism to a whole new level. In combination with multi-shot, you can generate amazing vlog shots or simply scenes where looks extremely realistic and not like an AI film. Drone camera orbiting dynamically around my subject allows camera to simply spin around your subject. It's highly cinematic, and Kling does a fantastic job with this cinematic camera motion. The most important thing, of course, is storytelling and using this cinematic camera motion in a meaningful way. This is where multi-shot comes in. Here, for example, I combined a crane down shot together with aerial drone shot, and suddenly it gives you a highly cinematic, great shot with single generation, and it saves so much time. Camera flies to is another great way to control the camera, especially if you have two different focus points in a single starting frame. In this example, she says her line while we want camera to smoothly zooming in to her face. I even specified the tone that I want to see in her voice. After that, camera flies to the rock star's close-up. That model is smart enough to understand who the rock star is in this scene. He also has a line that we want him to speak. After that, we are finalizing the scene with the bridge cut to and then close-up of woman. As you can see, cut to here is a scene cut, it's a hard cut, and it can be extremely helpful to bridge up from one scene to another. Then she is finishing with the final line. Let's see the result.
Are you ready for the biggest show of the year?
Kling version 3! Here we go! Let's test it out!
Please subscribe to the channel.
Actually, it did a very good job until to the last line. Then in the end, you saw that lip sync, the mouth movement were completely off. But until that point, it actually did a pretty fantastic job. And you saw how we combined cinematic camera motion, camera flies, together with spoken words and dialogue. To create an element, you need to click on Omni model. You can see all the elements I created before. Now I'm going to create a new element to show you how this works. Click on the Create Element option right here. To create an element, you need to add video or image of your character. Let's start with a simple image. I added this image here, and it's always helpful if you add the first image as a full body shot with the full outfit of your character. I will name my character Lara Croft. I will add an auto description. That description here for my character will be automatically filled. I can select a voice from the existing Kling library, or I can add a custom voice for my character. For this job, you need to add a voice sample. Now, adding a single character photo is not enough, so we need multiple angles of the same character. For this job, you can click on AI multi-shot, and this will automatically create multiple perspectives of the same character. Then you can select the one who looks most like your character. I think this is pretty good, and then click on confirm. Then simply hit generate. Now Lara Croft has added as an element, and from this point on, while prompting a scene, I can simply add this as an element and it will be automatically mentioned, and I can write what's happening in the scene. Now you can see how I'm combining Jihan as an element to create advanced consistency together with multi-shot. I defined 4 shots for my character with multiple camera angles, and I mentioned my element to ensure that consistency will be superb. Let's see the result.
Option. Tegeda should emote a bow attention.
Finally.
So it did a pretty good job with changing camera angles and transitions of different shot types. In the end, in the verdict part, I didn't ask my character to say finally, so there is a minor mistake there. But as you can see, the combination of consistent element together with multi-shot works pretty impressively. In this particular comparison, you can see in the first shot I have Anita binded to my prompt as a consistent element. And you can see throughout the shot, Anita's face looks consistent, stable, and somehow recognizable. If you don't bind element, where you can see in this example, Anita's face changes all the time. It morphs, it becomes someone else. Even between multi-shot scene changes, it's basically a different person every single time. So I would highly recommend you to add or bind your character's faces as elements to ensure that in your multi-shots you will have superb character consistency. If your starting frame is an over-the-shoulder shot, especially if the model doesn't know how your character's face looks like, then in this case you have to bind your character as an element.